All right, all right. Everybody needs a redo. So that was our redo. Okay. That was our redo. Apparently I was having technical difficulties and all the other good stuff, but that's okay. That's why we improvise, we revise, and we do everything all over again. So again, thank you for joining the show today. Below the surface. If you guys haven't seen the new branding on that, check it out right here, right here. Uh, where is it? All right. So I'm Riz. Q's, unfortunately, she can't be here today. She has some stuff going on. So nothing but love to her and all that other good stuff. So for everybody else, happy Black History Month. Finally, we actually get the shortest month of the year. That was playing. Uh, so it's so funny with Black History Month. So many people were always talking about like, of course, the greats, Martin Luther King. We're always talking about Rosa Parks, Malcolm X. Yo, what about the unsung heroes? What about talking about the word cowboys came from Black people? That was back in the 1800s when cowboys that was a Black thing, and then of course white people. No offense to all my white viewers out there, I never got. The first GPS was invented by a Black woman. Like what? What about even the Star Spangled Banner? Star Spangled Banner was written, the words were written by a Black woman. Like nothing but love and appreciation to, of course, Martin Luther King, nothing but love and appreciation to Malcolm X. They had different visions in different ways that they wanted to make sure that the Black slash African American, whatever term you want to use these days, we're making progress throughout the movements and all that good stuff. Awesome to Rosa Parks, but there was somebody before Rosa Parks. Quick history lesson, real quick. Before Rosa Parks, there was a young lady that sat on a bus, but see, they didn't want to use her. And when I say they, I'm talking about the NAACP. Okay. They did not want to use her as the person to fight the movement because she had nappy hair. She was pregnant at the time. And there was like a whole bunch of stuff. And they just didn't feel like uh, using her to market the movement would be a good cause. But let's make sure we get props. So those are just some of my things where I'm like, okay, we're always talking about all these different things. And again, like I said, nothing but love and appreciation to a lot of the people who started the movement and did the movement. But yo, let's talk about the unsung heroes. Let's talk about some of the community leaders. Even if we're talking about it today in 2024, the people that are doing the things in their community. Like, what are you doing? And no one says that you got to go be like some big rock star, superstar, or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that homegrown, whether you're doing something, whether it's small or whether you're doing something that's big. Something small, whether you're doing something to affect and change people's lives. It could be something as simple as you're a youth coach. It could be something as simple as you're a part of your kids or your grandkids or whoever's their school, like you're on the PTA, you're on site council, you're starting council. Like things like that, grassroots movements, those are the things that, for me personally, I'd rather hear about and talk about. Now, don't get me wrong again. It's nothing to where if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you are, and you damn sure don't know where you're going, right? So you have to understand and know the stuff of the past. Uh, for an example, even like the Tuskegee Airmen, like we don't talk about them enough. We don't talk about the facts that they were basically used as experiments, and they basically gave them freaking syphilis for no reason. When I say they, I'm talking about the government. Okay, I'm talking about the government. Have you seen the news lately? And I know I'm shifting here, and it is Black History Month, but yo, have today or yesterday it dropped. Like, yo, has anybody seen the Trump sneakers? We all know that Trump, again, he lost his lawsuit that he had going on in New York or whatnot. And what's going on, everybody over there on Instagram? How y'all doing today? We know that he lost the lawsuit over there in New York, and this dude goes and does a rally at one of the shoe. It's like a big shoe thing or whatever, right? He drops like he finna drop some Jordans. He dropped the freaking. He dropped some Trump shoes. Yo, everybody's calling them the J6s. Y'all finna go get some J6s. And when I looked them up, like no joke, no joke. Oh man, I should put it on the screen. No joke. It was like 2K, $2,000 for some Trump patriotic shoes when he was selling them at his event. Because you know you got to pay for that 400. So yeah, it's to me, it's like, wow, like people are really willing to pay. Like no one's paying that for Yeezys. Maybe I don't know. No one's paying that for actual Jordans. That you know, those are like some Louis Vuittons and all that. Y'all really finna go drop $2,000 on some Trump sneakers that were 9 out of 10 not made in America? For real, for real? Help me understand. But anyway, going back to Black History, I just had to drop that real quick because that was some knowledge. And oh my God, that just happened yesterday to where I looked it up literally. And this guy was selling some Trump shoes for like 2 grand. Like, wow. And people are going to be dumb enough to buy them. Like, just imagine if Obama or freaking Bush or freaking even Reagan was dropping some penny shoes, like how people would freaking take that. It's just I don't know. What's going on over there on Instagram? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm multitasking. I got the YouTube up over here, the Facebook over on this side, and then I got the Instagram over here. Anyways, so like I was saying, so yeah, it's just it's a strange and interesting time right now where you can go buy a president's pair of shoes for $2,000, and this is water. Don't trip. I'm gonna try to get my boy Red Cup Reggie to come on the show. He owed me a Red Cup backpack. If y'all don't know him, go check him out. He's on Instagram under Red Cup Reggie. I don't know if he invented the Red Cup, but he might as well have invented the Red Cup. Anyways, so yeah, so Black History Month. So it runs, you know, this whole month and all that good stuff. So one of the things, I had this little white kid come up to me, right? And this is what I was explaining before, you know, I had to fix all my technical difficulties, of course. You know, get all this new equipment. And of course I have technical difficulties. Why not? But anyways, so I saw a white kid come up to me and say, you know, basically, you know, Riz, why is there a Black History Month and not a White History Month? Really? So, you know, I had to take my composure for a second because it was a legit question, I guess. I don't know, in their mind, it was a legit question. So I had to take my composure and take a step back and just ask myself, like, why would this question even be a topic of conversation? Like, seriously? But you know, okay, okay. Mhm. So basically, what was my response? That's what you guys are all waiting for, right? So basically, I was just like, you know what? Excuse me. When we look in, let's take a look at your history, right? And the things that you're learning about in class today. Everything that you're learning about was 9 out of 10 written by a white person. All the heroes in your books and all this other good stuff are all white people. We don't talk about any really. Anytime we talk about black people in any history book, when you really think about it, we're always talking about slavery, right? We're always talking about how we came out of slavery and how great, you know, we broke the chains and like all this other stuff. We didn't talk about some of the things that people were doing during slavery. Okay. When we talk about in the history books, one of the things that they talk about, especially, is fighting America. Excuse me, how do you find something that was already found when there was already people already living here? How do you find America? But white people came over and they found America and they helped all the Native Americans and they helped all the whoever else was here. What? Okay, so going back, they're being the heroes, and of course, that's how they're portraying themselves. Because again, it was written by white. And this is not for me to be racist. This is not for me just going ham on anybody or anything like that. This is just me being the truth. And if somebody disagrees with me, or if you have another thought process behind it, please, please, please let me know. Yo, Suwan's in the building. What's up, Suwan? How you doing tonight? And for anybody, if you guys want to make sure if you comment, I'll always shout you out. If you say I that I shout you guys out, and especially you guys, I appreciate you guys watching the show, whether you're watching it live, whether you're coming back and watching it after the fact. I appreciate that. So with one of the things, and I was just explaining to this young man, like when we're dealing, there's Black history, because we don't talk about the contributions that Black people, even Hispanics, Asians, whoever, that are not of Caucasian white heritage, have done for the country, and everything that you learn about in your history books right now today, it was all written by white people. Now it'll be something different if in those history books and in the learnings that you're learning, we're learning about everybody. We're learning about the contributions of our Native American brothers and sisters. We're learning about the contributions of our Asians brothers and sisters. And then I just threw in there, like, did you not know that basically California was built by our Japanese and our Asian people, or not our brothers and sisters? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, but they're not going to tell you that in your history book, right? Did you not know that basically, even though the Treaty of Guadalupe was signed, how do you think that treaty was signed, buddy? Do you think that treaty was signed fair and square? Do you think that treaty was signed because somebody came across and they're like, oh, let's go help Mexico? And Mexico actually was the piece of California and Texas and everything that we got in that treaty. It was actually owned by Spain. Spain, because it was too far, had to give it up to Mexico. So Mexico had it. That's a little back here. Go Google me or go Google my facts if you don't believe me. So they had to have that and all like this. But anyways, following back, do you really think that California and Texas and all that was discovered? No, it was stolen. And yes, I love California. I'm a Cali native all day, every day. I wasn't born in Cali, but I was raised in Cali. I love Cali, but California was stolen. Period, point blank. We basically gave Mexico nothing, got their general drunk. Like, let's be real. Let's be 100% real. Got the general drunk. And I know I'm giving y'all a history lesson right now, and I apologize. And I normally talk about fun stuff, but we got to talk about this Black history. Anyways, basically got the general drunk, had him sign over Mexico to the United States. Huh. I wonder if there's anybody else out there that does anything shady on you. Hmm. Anyways, so I broke down that history lesson. I broke down the encampments that were in California, especially when we are building the railroads and stuff like that. And oh wow, all this stuff. Yeah, like so. That's why it's so important to not only just recognize the things that you're learning about in your history books, but the factual things. Like let's not pretend and act like you know everything went down legit and everything was great and all this other good stuff, because it was. There was some good stuff. I'll give props to that. There was some good stuff, but everything wasn't good, right? You can't build a country because basically, well, actually, you can't destroy a country that was already there because the country was already there and it was basically already destroyed, right? Because our Native American brothers and sisters, they were already here. Our Asian brothers and sisters, especially because of if you go way, way back in India, in our Indian brothers and sisters, go way back, how the earth broke apart and all that other good stuff. Uh, yeah, they were already here. So you and we're building it on the backs of other people who we're not paying, but we're going to pretend that we're paying them because it makes us feel all good inside. But we're going to pretend that we're paying them by giving them food, kind of, sort of, giving them shelter, maybe a little bit, and breeding them. Did you know that there's a big thing about breeding? Um, if we're talking about African Americans and Black people back in the day, back in the slave days or whatnot. And it's not even really back in the slave days. Like legit, we're only 3 generations out of slavery. And not even 3 generations if you really think about it. It's really 2 generations, 2.5 generations. So when people say, oh, get over slavery, oh, get over this, oh, get over that. Yo, my great grandfather was most likely a slave. That's what, like, how do people say that? We're literally only 2.5, really 2.5. Because some of those people were babies or little kids when slavery was abolished or whatnot. We're literally only 2.5. When I say 2.5, I'm talking about 200 years or generations. If we talk about a generation, we're talking about a generation in hundreds right now. Uh, Removed. So you really can't sit up there and tell me get over it. Like you can't tell me get over it. You can't tell me that this isn't um, something that's affecting basically everything, everybody, and how we encompass our thought process and all that good stuff. All right. So that was enough about Black History Month for now. For now. So Super Bowl. How many people was out there watching the Super Bowl? I did. I watched it just because I wanted everybody to be mad that the Chiefs won. I'm definitely not a 49ers fan at all. I'm a Raiders fan all day, every day. So, but at the end of the day, I should have probably been going for the 49ers just because I'm a California native. No, I was going for the Chiefs just because I wanted everybody to be mad. And I saw a couple memes on online on uh, Instagram and all that other good stuff, and it basically said with Colin, like until they do right by him, the 49ers ain't gonna win. And it's so funny. Ever since all that stuff went down with him, especially raising his fist, standing at the pledge allegiance or the national anthem and all that other good stuff, which is just right. Like at the end of the day, we're Americans, right? We live in America. Why is it that people get upset? Like, even if you're like the craziest like Nazi person out there, like I'm gonna respect that only because you're an American and you have a right. You have a right to free speech. You have a right to say whatever, spill whatever ridiculousness you want to spill. Just like me, I'm an American. I have the right to say whatever the heck I want to say. I have the right to spill whatever it is I want to spill as long as it's not hurting somebody, as long as it's not being slanderous, as long as it's not being all the bad stuff, then you're good, right? But yeah. So yeah, the 49ers, they were not going to win that game at all. And I love what Biden put out. He is so funny, or whoever is a part of his team that puts out his memes and stuff like that on his Facebook and on his Instagram page. He is so funny. Well, not him because he too old to be funny. So I doubt it's him. It's his marketing team and everybody else behind him running the show. They basically said just like we wrote it up. That was and what he was referencing to is a lot of conservatives were just like, oh, it's all scripted, and oh, the Chiefs are gonna win because that's who they want to win because of Kelsey and Taylor Swift and blah 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 blah. And then at the end of the day, who's the first person the 49ers fires? The black man. Yo, they fired the defensive coach. And the problem I have with that is the defense is what actually kept them in the game. GAME, defense kept them in the game. Period. Point. Kyle Shanahan, you ain't winning that no time soon, homeboy. Like, you might as well, I don't know what you need to do, but it ain't that. So there's that on that. All right, what else do we got going on? Oh, Monique. Man, I needed to. Did y'all see the Monique interview? I think Monique was trying to up the cat interview because we already know the cat interview broke. BROKE broke the internet, right? So that next week, here comes Monique coming on there, just dropping dimes, boom, 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 dropping bombs, boom, boom, boom. And then what happened was like she was talking about, especially when she got into talking about her son and her son's relationship with her oldest son, and you know how she's just like a mom, but she wasn't really a mom to him, and like all these other things. I think a lot of people got on her because she was being honest about it. And at the end of the day, like I hear it, I can respect it. Like just because you're a mom, just because you give birth to a child, doesn't mean you're a mom. And in her case, like she was clout chasing in a sense, and I think she admitted that. Uh, and no one said that it was good. No one said that that's like the right thing to do or anything like that. But when you clout chase like that, of course you're not gonna pay attention to your kids that you got going out. So I think a couple days after that, her son, oldest son, who she doesn't really talk to, posted on Instagram, basically like saying like, "Hey, we good. Like, don't sit up here and say that you try to reach out to me when you haven't." And just going ham, boom, 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 boom. And then what does she do? All she posts is all the receipts. Man, see, why do people understand that there's always receipts? Like, don't sit up there and say something or do something and you don't have any receipts. Like, she posted all the receipts. What's going on over here? I got to say hello. I got to say hello to everybody over here on. Uh, oh, and I can't spell right now. Over here joining me on Instagram or whatever. All right. So yeah, oops. So yeah, it was just so funny. So if you don't follow that, go on there and definitely follow that. Go on there, excuse me, go on there and definitely follow that because that was just an interesting thing, and it's an interesting thing again when we're just talking about motherhood and being a parent and things like that. Like I think that some people are meant to be parents, and some people just flat out are not meant to be parents, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, I think I froze, so you know, it's all good. So yeah, I froze. And this is just not the day. This is not the day beyond. But it's all good because we're always gonna work through it. We're always gonna fight through it. We're always gonna do what we gotta do. So, anyways, um, what's going on with me right now? So, if you guys follow me on Instagram, exactly throwing out Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, please check out one of my posts and one of my reels I just did recently. I had an APAC. Well, there's an APAC at one of the schools that I work with. There was never an APAC. APAC is an African American Parents Committee, and basically what we do is we look at the numbers, look at the things that are going on with the school. It's similar to site committee, but you don't have a vote, but Unfortunately, I am on site committee for this particular school also. So we've never done a showcase or anything like that. So we put on a huge showcase at the school. It was so beautiful, like over 50 kids and their parents and families, everybody showed up. I was so just like my heart, I was just like, wow, like we just, I can't believe everything that we just did. Like, I cannot believe everything that we just did. So we put on that showcase. We did all that. So if you check out my Instagram, you can go on there and make sure you like it. You guys can go on there and check that out. And what's going? How you doing over there? We can go ahead and make sure we check that out, and that'll be awesome. Like, please check that out. Uh, I will, man, you guys don't even know. So that's one of the things I've been working on and I've done, even with Black History Month, going back to Black History Month. Going back to Black History Month with my 9 to 5. I did a big thing with that also. Did some spotlights on some unsung heroes. And I think that's how I started the show today. Anyways, it's making sure that we're recognizing the people who aren't like all out there and just doing everything. You know, we gotta make sure that the unsung heroes are paid attention to also. So I did a big thing on that. Also, you guys already know, like I think I talked about it last show. I think I've came to the realization that I'm like this serial freaking college student after, I didn't even like half the classes I took, I didn't even know until I had to go pull my transcript. So So right now I went back to school. So shout out to Riverside Community College because yes, that's where I'm going. I went back. I'm going. Well, I'm going back to school. I didn't went back to school. I'm going back to school. I'm already like week 2 in. My final or the midterms are coming up here pretty soon. And you guys are like, "What are you going to school for, Riz? What's going on? What are you doing?" I'm going back to school to get my real estate license. I have no clue what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff up. I think that's what my big plan at the end of the day is. But man, like reading all this stuff, like I'm already through chapter 7 right now, and I'm through chapter 7 mainly because I gotta get ahead a little bit because I'm going on vacation in March. Shh, don't tell nobody. For spring break. Shh, don't tell nobody. So for spring break, I'm going on vacation, so I got to get super ahead, and I'm already through chapter 7. And there's some of the terminology and some of the things that the book is talking about, and just when we're talking about real estate, I've had one class because it's a hybrid class, so it's online and it's in class. So we had our first class last week, so our next class is this week. After the holiday. So it's an interesting like one. I haven't been in school in like over freaking 12 years. Even though we've already established I'm a serial college student, because I think in my brain right now, and please people, help me out. Like I think in my brain right now, even though I'm going back to school for this, I'm sitting here thinking in my brain like, man, I need to go back to school to get this or that. I'm telling you, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. Serial college student, serial learner, right here. Apparently, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I want to do like some commercial stuff. Like I want to get into some commercial real estate. Even though this first class is not really going to help me with that, it's more about like residential and agents and brokers and understanding what a broker is, understanding what an agent is and what they really do, the terminology behind it, and how it's really an independent contractor a situation, but it's an employment situation when we're dealing with like, if you're dealing with taxes and things like that, you're an independent contractor. If you're an agent or a salesperson, they call them a salesperson. They don't call them agents unnecessarily because agents are called something else in the book. And everybody basically reports to the broker. So if you're gonna have all the responsibility, you want to be a broker. But anyways, that this is just everything that I'm learning right now, and it's like super interesting. I'm just wow. So I'm doing pretty okay in the class, I guess. I don't know. For my overachiever self, I'm getting like an A minus right now, and I don't really like that because I'm an overachiever. But you know, we're 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks. Even though I'm super ahead, and I've already taken I took a quiz this afternoon. Got an 18 out of 20 on that one. Oh, these 18 out of 20s are killing me. So yeah, I'm reliving my college years. I don't even know if it's like a college year thing because I'm only taking one class at a time or one class a semester. I'm taking one class this semester and then one class the next semester because I definitely don't have time between football, boxing, school, work, life, career. Like, I can't answer any of those questions for you right now. I got everything going on. And yes, I do get plenty of rest and naps during the day. Like those things that your parents used to always tell you, like, oh, you better do this or you're in trouble. Like you'd be in trouble and you'd be doing it. I'm like, yes, it's bedtime. It's 8:30. Yes. Yes, I gotta go take a nap. Yes, right here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap right here. I'm gonna take a nap. So, anyways, so yeah, so some of those, so those are some of the things that I'm doing right now, and I'll keep talking to you guys about uh, all the cool stuff that I learned. And when I become like a licensed salesperson, 'cause that's what they call it, it's really called a licensed sales agent or whatever. You're not a real estate agent. That's not what it's called. Uh, and you can't. Did you know you cannot even use the word realtor unless you're registered to the California real estate something because it's actually realtor is actually trademark. What? So when you see companies, you don't really see them say like realtor or even realist because like a realist that's a whole different thing. Like you can't. It's man, it's so funny. It's crazy. Like I never knew all this stuff. And again, I'm only through chapter 6. I'm gonna do chapter 7 tomorrow. I'll probably read through all that. Yeah, that whole learning thing. Whatever. Anyways, so what else is going on in the world right now? Oh, okay. Yes, I see that. Yes, we are. So right now, we'll talk about Gaza. All right. So Hamas. So for all those people that know or don't know, there's a war going on right. Well, there's a couple wars going on right now. Of course, there's the war in Ukraine with Russia and Ukraine, and some of the dumb things that come out of. Anybody watch Tucker? Like Tucker, he's just an idiot. He went to Russia, and I know I'm sidetracking. He went to Russia on this past week, and it was basically like, oh yeah, the food in Russia, like we spent $200 or some stupid amount or whatever. Just I'm like, bro, if you look at the Russian dollar, and I don't even know what it's called, versus the US dollar, of course you don't spend $200. Of course the cost of living is cheaper. Of course all this other stuff. Our we're our money is worth more money. Like, why are you telling all this idiotic? Anyway, and then we have the war going on in Palestine right now with Israel, and regardless of how you believe or what you believe. Um, I personally, and you can quote me on this, like, even if they have like all those terrorists, excuse me, in Palestine or in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, whatnot, and they're doing all this bad stuff, like, yo, like, why are you killing all these babies? Like, why are you killing all these women? Why are you killing all these babies? Why are you kill like this is just dumb. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you gonna sit up there and say you're gonna continue to go, you're gonna continue to go. And your president basically says they're gonna go until they wipe out Gaza, period, looking for some terrorists. I'm like, dude, like, and the sad part about it is uh the US, we're always gonna back them because like Israel, I don't even know where it started. I need to do some research on that. It's like our little brother in a sense. And we'll always back them. Regardless, we'll always back them as we are right now. We're coming in and we're saying, no, don't do that. And then we're giving them money to go do that. Like we're giving them money to go bomb these freaking babies. We're giving them money. Like it would be one thing if they're doing these covert things and they're trying to take out all the terrorists or so-called terrorists, Hamas or whatever. If that's how they're looking at it, all right, cool. But dude, like you're killing all these babies, you're killing all these moms, you're killing all, like, you're wiping out entire families, entire families. And when I'm talking about families, I'm talking about generational families. Like, you're taking out the grandpa, the mom, the grandma, the mom, the dad, the uncle, the cousins, the sisters, the brother. You taking out the whole family tree. Gone. Wiped. Boom. Wiped off the face of the earth because you feel that there's terrorism. I don't know. Just some of the things that we do, just some of the things that we do is just a lot of things that just, for me personally, make me go, hmm. All I can say. Anyways, um, as always, I want to make sure that you guys follow the show. So please, 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 if you follow me on YouTube, or if you don't, go follow on YouTube. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on that is my Instagram. So go check out my Instagram. So please make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. One of the things that I always want to make sure that I talk about during the show is mental health. Mental health is healthcare. Okay. Mental health is healthcare. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what anyone says. Mental health is healthcare. Go take care of yourself. If you need to talk to somebody, if you just need another example, another situational, whatever it may be, and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Whoop Rhyme, all that other stuff is not the place for you to go get some mental health help. Okay, please text 988 to go get some help. There's always people there 24/7 that can help you. Mental health is very important to me, especially if you know my story. Mental health is very important to me and to those around me. So please make sure you guys reach out, get some help, all that good stuff. And once again, make sure you guys follow the show on YouTube. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Next week, we will have a special. Well, one, I'm going to make sure I don't have that many technical difficulties. Let's start there. And then two, we have a special guest. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or any of that stuff, I'll start posting about it. We have a huge special guest coming up. It's gonna get lit. I might get canceled, y'all. If y'all remember, I got canceled for posting the stuff about the beating up in Victorville or whatnot. I got banned. I feel like once I start posting about our next guest, and I'm not gonna say who it's gonna be, I'm gonna tell you the subject line. The subject line, and I'll announce it right now. The subject line is gonna be about Mormons, right? So I have one of the great grandchildren of Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church, coming right here on Below the Stars. Gonna come right here and come talk to us. We're gonna talk about religion that day. So if you ain't religious, come talk to us. If you are religious, come talk to us. We're gonna talk about that person's story. We're gonna talk about how they grew up. We're gonna talk about all that good stuff. Join me that day. I'm gonna start posting a whole bunch of stuff about it. So if you guys see it, please make sure you join. And as always, like I always like to say, ladies, y'all have a beautiful and blessed night. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.